Imagine you wake up today, just like any other day. You have your coffee, check your notifications, and follow your usual routine. But then suddenly, something happens. In the blink of an eye, millions of people vanish from the face of the earth, leaving behind chaos, confusion, and countless unanswered questions. What's happening? Where did all these people go? Have you been left behind? Over the next few minutes, we'll dive deep into an intriguing scenario, exploring what the world might look like in the first 24 hours following the rapture. We'll see how people, governments, and even you might react to such a dramatic and unsettling event. Get ready, because the following scenes will take you on an emotional and thought-provoking journey, one that may forever change your perspective on the future, life, and your own beliefs. Are you ready? So, what exactly would the first 24 hours after the rapture look like? Before we continue, it's important for you to know, this video was created with great care and seriousness. We dug deep into the details and gathered the most reliable information about what, according to the Bible, could happen in the first 24 hours after the rapture. If this topic stirs something in you, if it makes you reflect on what truly matters, then go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. By doing so, you're not only supporting this work, but also ensuring access to more content that can help prepare your life for what's to come. So, let's get started. Hour 1. The sudden disappearance. In an instant, ordinary life turns into a global nightmare. Pilots vanish mid-flight, leaving aircraft to spiral uncontrollably into emergency situations. On highways around the globe, vehicles lose control as drivers suddenly disappear, triggering severe accidents and chaos in all major cities worldwide. People disappear during meetings, breakfast tables, classrooms, offices, and even live TV broadcasts. Social media instantly floods with terrifying amateur videos captured by stunned eyewitnesses, depicting confusion, fear, and panic as millions of people vanish without explanation. Hashtags such as "where did they go?" and "a global disappearance" and "end of the world" trend within seconds. Hour 2, fear spreads, believers and atheists in shock. In the second hour after the rapture, initial confusion gives way to widespread panic. People scream in the streets, desperately calling out for family members who vanished without a trace. Many run door to door, urgently trying to find out if anyone else has experienced the same horrifying reality. Phone lines quickly become jammed with millions of simultaneous emergency calls, seeking answers or pleading desperately with authorities, who themselves are left utterly clueless. Social media erupts with wild theories and frantic speculation. Atheists and skeptics struggle to rationalize what happened, suggesting everything from quantum anomalies to secret government experiments gone wrong. Meanwhile, religious leaders swiftly step into the spotlight, many visibly shaken, immediately recognizing the biblical event known as the Rapture unfolding right before their eyes. Churches around the world suddenly overflow with crowds of people desperately seeking spiritual answers. Religious leaders who were left behind begin to publicly grapple with their own faith, some breaking down emotionally as they acknowledge the biblical prophecy of the rapture unfolding right before their eyes. Mass prayers and collective pleas for forgiveness sweep across packed congregations globally. At the same time, deeply committed atheists and those who've rejected faith throughout their lives begin confronting intense existential crises. The overwhelming sense of uncertainty drives many to cling desperately to any theory or explanation that might provide even minimal comfort or a sense of control amidst the absurdity of the situation. Television networks broadcast non-stop, showing live footage from chaotic streets worldwide. News anchors, visibly shaken, attempt to maintain composure while simultaneously discussing both scientific theories and religious interpretations. Christian TV networks urgently broadcast emergency messages proclaiming the fulfillment of biblical prophecy, passionately urging viewers toward immediate repentance. Politicians and world leaders appear live on air, urging calm and promising swift explanations. But the uncertainty in their faces clearly reveals that they too are grappling deeply with the unprecedented and unexplainable event. Across the globe, profound spiritual questioning has begun. Believers who were left behind ask themselves why their faith was insufficient, while atheists experience an unsettling crisis of confidence in their fundamental worldview. Are you enjoying the video so far? Then show that this content matters to you. Hit the like button right now and click the red button to subscribe to the channel. By doing this, you're not only supporting us, but also making sure you won't miss more videos like this. Videos that can truly make a difference in your life. Hour 6, collapse in the economy and infrastructure. In the 6th hour after the rapture, the global economic and infrastructural collapse becomes undeniable. The sudden disappearance of millions leads critical sectors to an immediate crisis. Imagine waking up in a reality where banks are either closed or overcrowded, making withdrawals and basic transactions impossible. Digital payment platforms become unstable due to the massive overload and the sudden disappearance of key technicians. Money, whether physical or virtual, rapidly loses its strength and value. Stock markets in New York, Tokyo, London, and São Paulo simultaneously crash, creating a domino effect that quickly impacts the global economy. Companies previously considered stable see their shares plummet dramatically. Airlines cancel thousands of flights, some due to missing crews, others out of precaution and fear. With the sudden disappearance of essential personnel such as energy and telecommunications operators, massive blackouts begin striking major urban centers. The internet, overloaded by simultaneous attempts to find answers, suffers widespread outages. Communicating with friends and family becomes nearly impossible, further amplifying anxiety and panic. In supermarkets, enormous lines quickly form. Fearing shortages, crowds rush to secure food, water, and medicine. The situation rapidly spirals out of control, escalating from panic to widespread violence and looting. Governments declare states of emergency and impose curfews across hundreds of cities. Military and police forces attempt to restore order, but are quickly overwhelmed by the scale of events. The world, just 6 hours after the rapture, no longer resembles what it once was. Hour 12, mass spiritual questioning. 12 hours after the rapture, the initial shock begins to evolve into something deeper and more intense. An unprecedented global spiritual questioning. The entire world is plunged into profound reflection, incessantly asking themselves, why were they taken? And why was I left behind? Religious temples of all beliefs, previously ignored by many, suddenly become overcrowded refugees filled with desperate individuals seeking spiritual comfort. People who once distanced themselves from faith now weep and loudly beg for forgiveness with an intensity never before seen. A mother, sobbing at the entrance of a church, bitterly regrets never having given importance to the faith of her children who have now disappeared. A famous businessman, previously known for his strong atheism, appears desperately on live television, openly pleading for forgiveness and divine help, admitting that he had always mocked religious beliefs. Meanwhile, religious people left behind experience even deeper pain. They feel betrayed and abandoned by God, questioning intensely what was wrong with their faith. Prominent religious leaders appear on social media platforms, weeping during live broadcasts, desperately urging people to seek immediate repentance before it becomes too late. On television, religious programs reach unprecedented audience records. Priests, pastors, and preachers appear almost continuously, quoting Bible passages about the rapture and warning viewers that the end times may have officially begun. News programs broadcast live interviews featuring both religious leaders and atheists who passionately debate the spiritual implications of this event, driving the global audience into a state of despair and spiritual urgency. Online, thousands of videos quickly go viral, containing farewell messages recorded by people who anticipated the rapture, leaving content specifically prepared for those left behind. Many speak of a second chance for those who were not taken, igniting an immediate global movement toward spiritual urgency and the search for redemption. Anxiety and panic crises spread rapidly. Clinics and hospitals become overwhelmed not only by physical emergencies, but also by widespread psychological disorders triggered by the inexplicable event. Psychological centers and emotional support hotlines are completely overwhelmed. Many specialists have also disappeared, leaving hospitals and clinics unprepared to manage such intense emotional suffering. At this point, many people begin reluctantly admitting that perhaps the rapture has indeed occurred. Committed atheists confront profound existential doubts, while believers who were left behind deeply question the authenticity and depth of their spiritual lives. It's as if the entire world is simultaneously experiencing the greatest spiritual crisis in human history, realizing life will never return to normal again. Hour 16, the rise of new leaders and dangerous movements. 16 hours after the rapture, a sense of chaos already dominates humanity. Taking advantage of widespread fear, charismatic leaders begin to emerge globally, promising immediate answers and solutions to restore order. Passionate speeches are broadcast live on every platform and television channel, simultaneously reaching billions of viewers. These new political figures strongly appeal for global unity as the only possible solution, urging nations to put aside ideological and cultural differences for the sake of a common good. Some of these voices quickly gain prominence, winning the trust and hope of crowds desperately searching for concrete answers. Television channels continuously broadcast speeches from emerging leaders calling for immediate global unity and proposing drastic solutions, including large-scale monitoring systems aimed at locating missing people or preventing future disappearances. Expert panels fervently debate whether this moment of chaos could be the perfect opportunity for the emergence of the feared Antichrist described in the Bible. Hour 18, the emergence of cults and fanaticism. As the crisis deepens, radical religious cults and movements rapidly begin to emerge, capitalizing on people's emotional vulnerability. Groups previously unknown or insignificant now grow exponentially, preaching apocalyptic visions that amplify fear and paranoia even further. On the streets, hundreds of small cults proclaim they possess exclusive divine answers about the rapture, attracting thousands of desperate and confused followers, seeking to fill the emotional and spiritual void left by the event. Some even go so far as to claim that those who were taken were, in fact, victims of deception, and that the true chosen ones were those who remained. Hour 20, diplomatic crises and risk of war. At 20 hours after the rapture, diplomatic tensions reach a breaking point. Governments worldwide exchange accusations, suggesting potential involvement in biological attacks, technological sabotage, or even secret experiments. International trust rapidly collapses. Embassies close their doors, urgently evacuating their personnel. Military forces are placed on maximum alert, especially in regions already facing instability. Countries that had long maintained peaceful relations begin mobilizing their armies, preparing for any eventuality. At the United Nations, emergency meetings are urgently convened, but the organization struggles to control the situation given the unprecedented scale of the crisis. For the first time in decades, a genuine fear of a world war looms over the planet. The disappearance of medical teams causes total collapses in hospitals. In prisons, Christian guards and inmates have mysteriously disappeared, triggering widespread rebellions due to the lack of supervision and an overwhelming sense of vulnerability. With markets looted and supermarkets empty, the fear of hunger begins haunting even countries previously considered wealthy. Huge lines quickly form outside supermarkets, pharmacies, and gas stations, frequently resulting in violent conflicts. Hour 21. Search for answers and unification. 21 hours after the rapture, humanity is still struggling to comprehend what has happened. Countries, desperate for concrete answers, urgently organize meetings between renowned scientists, influential religious figures, and political leaders. Radio and television broadcasts continue uninterrupted. People gather around their TVs, anxiously searching for answers that never come. Specialists debate passionately, while public desperation grows in the face of a lack of solid explanations. Hour 22. The rise of technology. As a solution, faced with global chaos, tech giants propose bold emergency solutions to stabilize the situation. Global tracking applications are quickly released to facilitate communication and help locate missing people. Advanced surveillance and monitoring systems are suggested as necessary measures to ensure security and prevent future similar events. Large corporations rapidly offer digital solutions, promoting global unification through technology as a means to protect humanity. Hour 23. A world transformed forever. At 23 hours after the rapture, entire cities are plunged into deep silence. Streets that were previously bustling and chaotic now lie nearly deserted due to government-imposed curfews. Whole families, deeply shaken, remain at home, glued to their television screens as they follow unfolding events. An unprecedented wave of introspection sweeps through households around the world. People begin realizing that perhaps everything they once knew and valued was misguided. Priorities shift rapidly, and material attachments give way to profound questions about the true meaning of existence. Hour 24, the new reality. A day for history. Exactly 24 hours after the rapture, the world awakens to a new reality. Humanity will never be the same again. Uncertainty is immense, but one thing is now clear to everyone. This unprecedented event has brought deep social, economic, political, and especially spiritual transformations. Humanity now stands at a profound spiritual crossroads, and each individual must make a crucial decision about what they believe and whom they will trust moving forward. Perhaps you're now wondering how you would react to such an intense scenario. If you had experienced these dramatic 24 hours following the rapture, what would your reaction have been? Would you have felt regret, despair, or would you have sought deep spiritual answers? Although no one knows exactly when or how this event will occur, what's most important is reflection. Are we truly prepared? What would we do if confronted today with something as impactful as the rapture? Did you enjoy this immersive experience? Let me know in the comments below how you think you'd react if the rapture happened right now. Share this video with your friends, don't forget to like, hit the notification bell, and subscribe here to the Bible Lab, where we always bring intriguing biblical topics in a creative and informative way. That's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.